So let's talk about the Stunt Arc pulled Wednesday. For those who didn't watch, Arc had a stream where we the fans could ask the president of the company any questions we liked. Well, go ahead and guess what question everyone wanted to know. Give up? The fifth fate, of course. Now, instead of giving us an announcement, which has become the norm now, instead they decided to pull this stunt. Fake answering the question and muting the audio at the same time, combine this with some really bad, cringy acting. If you think I'm exaggerating, take a look here for yourself. Don't worry about adjusting your audio, I assure you it's fine. Yeah, this isn't acceptable to do, and there is no defending this, especially if you're in the quit bothering them camp. Now, publicity is good no matter how it comes, unless it is gained through pissing off the people whose money keeps your lights on. That said, this didn't go over well with a lot of people. Of course, the same lines are drawn as it comes down to which side of the fence you're on, if you're on the side of quit bothering them or the side of give us an announcement or a date to look forward to something. So on to something new I had heard from a few other streams. Apparently there was a leak going around that showed the game plan for Tag is to have 9 franchises total, counting the ones we already have. Meaning we would have 5 franchises total coming if this were to be true. Now, of course, this information did come from the BB Tag subreddit, and of course, as leaks go, they don't stay around for too long, so I do apologize I was not able to get the screenshots for that. If I find them, I will post them on my Twitter or my Discord. I am not holding my breath for this to be true, though. For the obvious reason being, we've been kept in the dark for so long, it's not even funny at this point. As I always say, I want this game to do well and last. But on a more positive note, I guess I can take this moment out to address some of the things from my wish list that I would like to see in BB Tag Season 2 beyond the thing of characters. The first being a new patch. The last patch for Tag was released in September of last year, so with the upcoming DLC we hope is coming, I hope a balanced patch comes along with it, as that is typically the Arc style whenever something new drops for one of their games. I would like a new patch to shake up the meta a bit as well. When it comes to a lot of tournaments, Team Scythe is one of the most dominating teams, as such as the same as said with Team Big Boys, Team Electric Car, and as well as any team that has Mitsuru on point. The reason being is that if people are only going to play what makes them win, they won't have any reason to buy the DLC, so a patch is kind of needed to shake things up a bit, so it seems rightfully justified. Now I'm aware that using the most OP teams will not net you wins, because you still have to have some merit of skill to speak of to move high in brackets, but I like to think that if Majors became a ground where only 1 or 2 teams were ran, something will be done to make those teams a little less viable. This hasn't happened yet, this is just merely a thought. Another thing I know a lot of people want dealt with is the bug, or feature that Team Scythe makes the most use of, being the Frame 1 active switch invul. Now, I am aware that any team can use this, but Team Scythe is probably the most prominent when it comes to how effective it can be. Another thing I would like to see in an upcoming patch is the ability to have more than just 3 preset teams. It seems rather counterproductive for a game with so many different character combinations to only have 3 presets. I think 7 would be perfect, 10 might be the upper limit, but this is just something I personally want. And of course, the fifth fate, as Arc has still yet to reveal what it is yet. People's patience has already begun to wear thin, so I hope they're listening to the constructive feedback people are leaving for them so they don't lose many players. I wouldn't be surprised if the announcement was at EVO Japan at this rate we're going, as kind of we got an announcement of an announcement that there is going to be some announcement that's going to be made towards the end of January or in the middle of February. The reveal here would set them up to have characters dropping throughout the entire year and throughout the tour, if done and spaced correctly. If we're getting a full bundle of characters for Season 2 that would have the same number of characters the last pass had, we could potentially get all the characters released before the Arc Tour's conclusion and EVO US in 2019. Doing this would mean that we would see new characters throughout the year, which depending upon the new characters from the Fifth Fate and hopefully the new pass, would bring in more players that did not bite at the game initially. Now, if we're talking about the price of Season 2, this is where things get a little bit murky. If we're talking about the wait people have endured for any information whatsoever without any hints or window, if Arc were to come out and announce a character pass with less than 12 characters for $20, I think it would cause another uproar given that the almost obnoxious wait we've already endured. This would probably turn off even the most casual of players. Now, I'm not saying that the hardcore competitive community doesn't matter, because we do, just in a different way. Casuals are the majority of people that will buy a game simply because they saw it and it looked nice. So if the character count were to be that low, it would be mildly problematic, mainly because people would be right back where we started when the game was first announced, where why isn't my favorite character in the game? Because they're my favorite character and they deserve to be in the game. I mean, seriously, as much as it irks me, I can't count how many times I've seen people demand that their precious edgelords make the cut. Another thing I would like to see is more colors, specifically characters with Aurier's colors. Can anyone explain why all the Rapier girls don't share a single color? Weiss and Aurier share each other's colors, Aurier and Mitsuru share each other's colors, but for some reason Weiss and Mitsuru don't share colors? This makes no sense. And I'm sure when it comes to the colors, the PC crowd is screaming how they're the PC master race. Well, PS4 has more traffic, so I'll pass. Lastly, intros. Now this may be small and may not mean much to others, but to me it means a lot. In terms of intros, come on, certain characters not having intros with characters that are just like them, just from a different franchise, that makes no sense to me. For example, why doesn't Makoto and Yang have an intro? I can see it now, honestly. Makoto says, let's start off the fight with a bang. Yang says she likes to start things off with a yang. Now, sure, it's cringy, but small details like that are why we love anime fighters to begin with. Now, time will tell how this all plays out. It looks like the next day that we're waiting for is EVO Japan, which is about a month away. So we'll see how things play out. Hey, if you made it this far, you have my thanks. Join my Discord. I'm always in there talking about things anime and anime game related. So come on in, have a good time, and we can talk about this until we're blue in the face. That's all I've got this time. Until the next one, guys.
Wake up,